Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order, Last Days of Europe, as Buryatia. Now, in our last video, we finished off fighting against the Irkutsk government. Over here, we've consolidated our control, and we have a bit of a crossroads that we need to do, whether we want to try to stick true to our morals, or maybe see if we can compromise to make a more effective government. Now, I ultimately put the decision up to the people in true communist fashion, except if you look at communist governments historically. But the sentiment was there, at least. And it's a pretty decisive blowout. 68% to 32%, favoring the Sablinite path. So, it looks like we're gonna go down the wholesome route, so to speak. Which I'm not opposed to one way or the other. So yeah, we got that going for us. It's been a while since I've sat down and recorded some videos. I was pretty busy. The break I had off, I was house sitting. Plus, I had a Thanksgiving break, which is, that includes Thanksgiving, which is pretty dang important over here in America. So I kind of had to do stuff with my family and all of that BS. Ooh, we're out to integrate Irkutsk. And then at school, I have my finals coming up. I have, there we go, 1 week of actual finals left. Or actual normal week, and then finals week. So I have some catching up to do, I'm not going to lie. Let's go ahead and try the NKVD. The time has come. The top officials of the infamous secret police force that served as the terror of so many for so long will finally be put on trial in the People's Court. Justice will be served, but unlike our enemies, we have elected to do so with fairness and honesty. They'll be prosecuted like any other, and they'll be given the chance to defend themselves. Though these men would never show us the same mercies given the chance, we must prove to the people that we are not the same monsters that once reigned in Irkutsk. By avoiding humiliating show trial in a kangaroo court, we will demonstrate that both friend and foe will be given the benefit of the doubt. That justice will always prevail in the new Russia. There we go. So we've gone ahead and cored up Buryatia. So we're going to have a lot more population, GDP growth, all of that good stuff. Excellent. Trains by call. Let's see if we can't fight that off. We have some time to get our boys situated. Game frames being a bitch. What else is new? That's wrong one I meant to click. It's been a while since I played. No, I did click the wrong one. I just selected the wrong option from there. That was my problem. Anyway, yeah, I also started work, and so that occupied me Saturday. No AK-47s. That's interesting. AR-53s. Okay. Huh. I mean, I guess it makes sense that we don't have the AK-47 in the same way that we, as widely available. We will not back down, so... Oh, of course it ends up being fucking there. God damn it. Got some stuff going on in Colombia. Let's see what we got here. The remnants of Yagoda's oppressors, who had been able to flee westwards, were sent to Verkhnudinsk in the middle of the night in cattle cars, shuffled along the Trans-Siberian like so many of their other gulag-bound victims before them. One by one they were hauled before the courts, found guilty of crimes against the revolution and the people, and dragged back to the cells. In the gallery, the people howled for blood before they were silenced by the tribunal. Watching from the bench, Sablin could not help but feel their pain. All have lost someone they loved to the NKVD. As the sun begins to descend and the last of the trials of individuals concludes, the tribunal faces the second and arguably most important item on the agenda: what to do about the NKVD organization as a whole. Frothing in the mouth, more radical mutineers argue that the NKVD must be totally dissolved, for its history as a tool of status suppression and Yagodian tyranny. Though agreeing with them on principle, Sablin also finds himself drawn to the arguments of Brown and the other older Bolsheviks, who insist in quiet but firm voices that the NKVD is too valuable as a tool to cast aside, that it ought to be reintegrated as a security force of the SSR on a tight leash. Sablin weighed the sins of the NKVD against its potential use to revolution as the debate raged on. The NKVD has done so much evil, but could it be rehabilitated? Could it even be just what they needed for the revolution to prevail? "Comrade Sablin," cried Pachiro, startling out his reverie, "we have not heard from you. What should be done with Yagoda's dogs?" And they can still serve the revolution. Extra-military, professionalism? There we go. The trial's over, and since there have been countless debates over what to do with the remnants of the NKVD, during these debates, Comrade Brown has proposed a rather controversial opinion. He insists that we still need some kind of special police to ensure the revolution's long-term survival, and that incorporating the NKVD is necessary to fill that gap. The sentiment has been echoed by the older Bolsheviks, who argue that reintegrating the NKVD in some form would be a great benefit to us. Though Comrade Sablin knows the organization was responsible for countless atrocities and injustices, he couldn't help but see the logic in Comrade Brown's words. Therefore, it is with a heavy heart that he has decided to begin the reintegration of NKVD into our new government. This process will include a comprehensive restructuring of the organization, as well as further trials for members that have been found guilty of committing egregious crimes against the people. To say that this move is controversial would be an understatement, but Sablin assures the skeptics from the Soviet Council they have nothing to fear. Our new NKVD will be rebuilt from the ground up to help protect the people, not terrorize them. Allegedly. Actually, no, we're playing the wholesome route. No, this is gonna work out beautifully and perfectly. Nothing bad will happen. Let's do... Socialist Army Reform, Stage 2. Triumvirate has collapsed. The enemy is defeated. Excellent. Now to clean up the corpses. Meanwhile, we got constructions. Let's do administrative building construction. And then consumer good production efficiency. Well, here we go. The monthly ticks kill me a little bit. Workers' councils or light centralization. I think we'll do probably workers' councils. One of the many injustices of Yagoda's regime was a creeping insidious influence of totalitarianism. Now that the tyrant has been dealt with, you must take care not to fall victim to the same mistakes. To that end, we will bring the workers' councils out of Buryatia into the fold and elevate them to a more meaningful place in our new government. Although Comrade Sablin shall remain as General Secretary to help guide the revolution through this turbulent era, we'll give the councils even greater freedom so that they may properly uphold the liberty of the workers. With these reforms, we will have taken a powerful step towards our ultimate goal of creating a truly free workers' paradise, where no voice goes unheard. So we can go ahead and scavenge for loot, so we'll go ahead and do that. Nazi terror supply bust in Uruguay. That's interesting. On the desert. Only days after their trials, they walked the streets of Verdnudinsk, proudly uniform of her head set high, knowing that they were as untouchable as they had been under Yagoda. A few days of hardship had been a small price to pay for their freedom. Despite the rhetoric of Sablin's mutineers to the men of the NKVD, it seemed as though they simply exchanged one master for another. Staring out the window of his room into the streets, Sablin wondered if he had done the right thing. Marquis Van Brown had finally convinced him that it was necessary ability of the NKVD for the aid they could provide in liberating the rest of Russia, that their uses outweighed the crimes they had committed. Sablin had tried to tell himself that it had not only solely been his decision, all he had done was share his new opinion with his comrades. But he knew he was grasping at straws. Furrowing the brow, Sablin can deny that his views as nominal leader of the revolution carried an overwhelming sway. Though Sablin knew he would never use the NKVD in the way that Yagoda did, it was not so easy to convince the people of that. He noticed the questioning glances his more radical comrades gave him now, the ways sometimes talk would stop as he entered the room. Most of all, he couldn't forget the look of hurt, betrayal on Susanna's face when he spoke out in trial in favor of reintegrating the NKVD. Taking deep breaths, Sablin steadied himself. No, he hadn't the time for doubt. He made the right decision. They needed the skill and training of these men to carry the torch of the revolution. Finally, feeling ready to face down the Central Committee, Sablin stomped downstairs into the street and tried to ignore the looks he got from the people who had once looked at him as their salvation. The hardest thing to do and the right thing to do are often the same. Let's do some external investments. Economy. We have some liquid reserves, which are bloated as of now. We can't invest apparently, but we can pay off our deficit, or our debt rather. So I'll go ahead and do that. We do tax cuts. I don't think that's really going to help us. Now I have to wait more time to pay off the debt, which is a little annoying. I have to wait. Also, don't know why I can't just outright invest. Is that on timer as well? I forget exactly. I don't know, I'm not the most in-depth in the new TNO economic system. Slowly improve. Now this one is just objectively better though. But it does improve the Sablin branch. I'm repairing the roads. Much of the Siberian infrastructure was also destroyed in the uprising against Yagoda, and many soldiers are calling for repairing the roads to maintain steadfast positions in the upcoming wars. Sablin does have the power to override the Soviet Council's calls to repair the factories to help the revolution spread further. Should he override the Soviet Council's recommendation, this sets the precedent that the state's power lies in Sablin, which he feels is a betrayal of the workers. At the same time, rebuilding the infrastructure would help in spreading the revolution to our neighbors. I mean, this is better. Doing a horrible job following the will of the people in the poll right now. But I'll catch up. There's still time yet. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Strike of a gavel turned the hushed clamor of the pack committee meeting to silence. The officials gathered in the packed opera house, watching with anticipation as the general secretary took the stage, approaching a sturdy podium and clearing his throat before leaning into the microphone. Following a brief report on the minutes of the previous meeting, as well as a few token proposals on small issues, the group of Russians got down to brass tacks. With that, I now open the floor to my comrades in the committee. Does anyone have a motion they would like to raise? Almost immediately after Sablin had finished talking, an older man stood up and shakily produced a coffee-stained sheet of paper. Addressing the spectacles, he began to read out a simple proposal on increasing the power of Soviets within their own workplaces. The pitch, in its entirety, was effectively to institute the first steps of a workplace democracy. The motion was promptly seconded and passed with comfortable majority, and the meeting continued as normal. The revolution spreads to the workplace. There we go. I could invest in infrastructure. And I'll confirm local reserves, so that actually helps a little bit. Oh, we have that. I'm digging the music. Yeah, I believe this is probably from the TNO soundtrack, because I haven't heard before. It bops. It does bop, I'm not going to lie. Let's go ahead and get the wheels turning. Can you hear it, comrades? The factories are alive with the sound of machinery and the power tools at work. The roads are busy with traffic once more. The workers are once again toiling away to create a better future for us all. Yet again, we have accomplished the impossible. Our efforts have imbued new life into the region. Soon, the industrial potential of the entire region will be fulfilled to its utmost, and we continue to have a strong base from which we can continue to spread the revolution across Russia. Most importantly of all, however, the common folk of Buryatia have finally been able to live better lives. Plenty of jobs available for all. People have finally been emancipated from the lingering dread of poverty and hunger. The wheels of labor have begun to turn, and there will be no stopping them anytime soon. We can go ahead and invest. Go ahead and get some schools. Poverty is declining slowly but surely. Emphasis on the slowly, I think more than anything. We have free civilian factories. What do we need? We need a hospital, especially in Irkutsk. I'm not gonna build a hospital. Okay, there's a little bit of a music switch up. Okay. Okay, I feel you. I feel you, game. Yeah, I've been busy, and I do apologize for uploads and streams not being as often. In fact, I'm thinking I'm going to have to end the stream after this just because I do have some homework I need to catch up on. So I might have 2 papers to do this week, shit. But one has a reading that we're going to talk about, so I'd rather know what the reading's supposed to be now. Catch up on it while I can. Let's set us up for the trial for the next video. The tyrant lies defeated. The terror in the night, reduced to a fearful husk, cowering in a cell. The revolution has begun anew, finally saved from the traitorous and vile man. Now the unspoken question lingers in the air. What comes next? Comrade Brown, often struggling to compose himself, strongly indicated that he wishes to see the monster executed. Private Dr. Sablin, he passionately argues his case. It would be disrespectful to those murdered to allow such a man to live, and exceedingly dangerous. According to him, Yagoda must serve as a symbol to all who would dare subvert the will of the masses to fill their own petty ends. However, Comrade Pachuro has emerged with a different approach, believing that an execution will forever sully the moral character of the new state. Pachuro argues instead for lifetime imprisonment. According to her, the new union must rise above the barbarism of the past. In addition, she believes imprisonment sets no less effective an example. Ultimately, the choice falls on Sablin's shoulders. Each day we remain undecided. As another, we anger our people. Something must be done with the old oppressor. Yeah, fair enough. Let's expand that back out. Our economy is coming along pretty nicely. I'm proud of it. I could do a tax hike. Would that get us out of our deficit? No, but it doesn't hurt. Our growth is reduced, but our deficit won't grow as much. I'm okay with this. I am. I also just noticed we don't have any debt at all. So we're not in a bad position at all. Not at all. But yeah. Well, I'm ending it here, folks. Thanks as always for watching. Like if you liked, dislike if you didn't. If you have any comments, feedback, and certainly leave in the comment section below. I read all comments you get. Appreciate any feedback you might have for me. Check out my various links down in the description box below. God damn it, I'm too tired to do this. I'll just end it there. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. My name has been Mr. Dogboat333. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.